What's up, Celtics Nation? You are tuned into the Dynasty Proud podcast. This is the post-game podcast for your Boston Celtics, who defeated the Toronto Raptors today, getting another win on the second night of a back-to-back. They beat the Toronto Raptors 112-96. Great game today. We're going to get into it a little bit here. I am the Parquet Poppy. You can follow me and my boy right here at NBA Swing Pass. Adrian, what's going on with you, my man? How you doing today?
Good. Doing well. Always good after Celtics win.
Absolutely. Second night of a back-to-back going into Toronto after, having a pretty good match yesterday. And, Celtics come out, no Jaylen Brown, and they get the dub. It was a little hard today. It was a little hard without Jaylen Brown. The Celtics built a double-digit lead in that first half, only to lose it and be down by 3 going into the half. Pretty much from there, coming out of the half, close game up until, again, the fourth quarter. The Celtics' second night of a back-to-back go off in the fourth quarter, mainly led by D. White and Hugo Gonzalez in that fourth quarter. Really good stuff right there. Man, yeah, real good, nice win again today. And yeah, there was some good, there was some bad. We can talk about some of the good that we saw. What you got for me, Adrian?
Yeah, so I got Peyton. I made a note that Peyton had 19 of the third. So he basically carried the whole team in
Yeah.
that third quarter. Big play was that Cato flagrant foul. They withstood the storm because I thought that was going to be a huge momentum swing. Toronto
Mm-hmm.
did make a little bit of a run because it was such a, I don't know, if it was like a 5 point whatever swing. I don't even remember, but that could have turned the game, but they withstood and came back and made their own run.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it was a good team effort. I mean, everyone shooting well. D. White made some shots in the second half. I mean, the fourth.
Fourth, yeah.
Um, P. Pritch again, double double. Yeah, he's shooting the cover off the ball. Hugo, huge steals,
Yeah.
transition dunk.
Yep.
Yeah, he played like a man today.
Yo, Hugo and Peyton Pritchard are the stories of the game today. Derek White also in that fourth quarter to help extend the lead as well. When Pritchard kind of cooled off, he was sitting on his 27 points there for a while in the fourth, but he was sitting a little bit of that fourth quarter as well. Yeah, Peyton Pritchard absolutely unreal today. He went pro MP on the
Yeah,
Toronto Raptors.
yeah,
Just the dribbling moves, the separation that he creates when he had who was it? Quickly on him today.
mhm,
I mean, he was absolutely frying quickly. It wasn't even it wasn't even competitive from
yeah,
quickly. As far as him trying to defend Pritchard, just absolute monster game from Pritchard when he doesn't have his co-star in Jaylen Brown. Taking a lot of that offensive load for the team, and when we've had our doubts about Pritchard, questioning if he should be coming off the bench. For this a couple times this season we've probably asked ourselves. He's in the starting lineup for this game, and he absolutely takes control over the offense when he needs to. He knows when to take his shots, when to pass, and man, it's we're pretty fortunate to have a weapon like him on this team. And, you know, because outside of him and Anthony Simons, don't really have too many ball handlers who really can hold the ball on a string. And Peyton Pritchard absolutely, dominates with the handles, creating the separation. And he's one of the smallest guys out there on the court doing this. It's absolutely impressive to see. And man, it's that contract that Brad Stevens got for him to lock him up is, it's worth every single penny every single day. Payne Pritchard could be over on the Warriors right now doing this, helping out Curry. And we're fortunate that that didn't happen. Brad was like, no, we want you here. We think you can contribute, and these are the games where he comes in and does it. It absolutely he absolutely shines. The organization, the coaches, they have so much trust in him. Brad Stevens locked him up. He wanted him, even though Pritchard had requested a trade at one point off this team.
Yeah.
And we're very fortunate to be able to not have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown in a game, a starting center who, for the most part is a backup center, and Payne Pritchard is just out here dominating the offense as one of the smallest guys on the court for both teams. It's
Yeah.
amazing to see.
Yeah, I mean, they dominated them inside the paint, the points inside the paint. I wonder how much of that goes to Peyton Pritchard because he was getting in there. He was hitting his fadeaways, his little floaters, and he was getting into the paint fairly easy. So I'm curious. I don't have time to do a deep dive, but how much of
I
those
know.
points were actually Peyton's? You know?
I'm sure a majority of them, over half at least. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't. With what we use, we don't have like those the deep,
Advanced. Yeah.
advanced analytics and everything like that. No, we don't. We really use a shot chart on here. We got to find somewhere where we can pull all that stuff up.
Yeah.
If I have to pay a little bit for that, I'll do that. But yeah, man, just insane game from Peyton Pritchard today. Derek White going off in that fourth quarter as well. But the second person I wanted to get to was Hugo Gonzalez. This kid is only 19, man. 19. This is another 19-year-old in the organization that when you watch him play, he looks like a professional. He looks like a guy on the court that's been playing for years. Yet we can keep bringing up the Madrid experience and everything like that. But I mean, he wasn't really getting a lot of playing time with Madrid, right? So, to see him come into the NBA and do what he's doing right now against, some of these some of these established players in the league, having to guard Brandon Ingram and, doing a pretty decent job. He, got into a little bit of foul trouble in the first half, but comes back into the game and absolutely affects the defense. It was it was like night and day when he was on the court, the defense. So I mean, he gets his first career double-double at 19 years old, first season rookie, and 10 boards, 10 points, playing amazing defense, getting in there, breaking up passes, getting into the passing lane and just messing it up for Toronto for them to get into anything that they were trying to do that game. Just impressive from the kid.
Yeah, he was just fighting over screens. He was working. He was just all hustle. He doesn't like accept the screen. He just fights over him, and that's what you got to do. Most players don't want to do that. They don't want the contact, but he wants it. So that's a good thing to see.
And he has that, the size advantage on some of these guys that he's playing. Hugo Gonzalez, he's 19, but he's a big 19-year-old. Like he's got sneaky size. When he's on that court and you actually see him up against, one of the opposing players, and you're like, he's just as big as that guy, if not bigger. He's absolutely a hound on defense. And he can get like his hand size. We've talked about it, how he was like second in the combine behind Taco Fall, like for measurement.
Yeah.
It absolutely helps him. The ball handlers for whoever the opposing team is, when they're dribbling and stuff like that, they don't realize Hugo can get a hand in there easily. I mean, the hand size is ridiculous, and it contributes to a lot of his steals on defense. It's what helps him, um, mess up the offensive playmaking for these other teams. He had that steal today off the screen that should have been at least a transition take foul. I don't understand how it wasn't even. A lot of people were saying clear path. Okay, maybe you have the case that he didn't have complete possession. He just like tapped it and he was about to run out. But at least a transition take on that. But it's whatever. Ball don't lie. He got his points back on that massive dunk. Had the whole bench going crazy. Hugo was going crazy for himself. Just amazing performance from him today. And we needed him. We needed him because there were some players that Joe put into the lineup that I totally disagree with should have been in the starting lineup to begin with. Like Sam Hauser did not understand how he got to be in the starting role today. But we can talk about that in a few once we go over the box score. But yeah, those are my two players of the game right there. Obviously, Pritchard for his performance today is going to be the player of the game. But Hugo Gonzalez is that unsung hero today, and absolutely deserved this win because, yeah, they deserve the win. They absolutely played great on the second night of a back to back, and I believe that this is like Joe Mazzulla is like 80% win percentage on the second night of back to backs now.
Oh, yeah.
That's elite, bro. Like that's insane. So the fact that Joe Mazzulla is doing this was able to control this game and put in the personnel to secure the win. He might be coach of the year. He might be coach of the year. No JT, no JB, and putting out that lineup that we had today was just incredible. An incredible game. Really, really good fight from this team against Toronto, who's a good team in their own right this year.
Yeah. Yeah, a huge game for Garza, right? He offensive rebounds. I think he had 8 or 9 offensive rebounds and hustle points, little putbacks. He gave
He
you
was
something tonight, which was
he
good. Also,
Yeah, he played like a guy who hadn't played in like 5 straight games.
yeah, yeah,
That's how he played. He played like, this could be my last time on the court, on the basketball court. Like that's the mentality that every player in the NBA has to have. When they step on that court, this could be the last time you ever see the court again, whether it's injury, whether the coach never plays you again. Who knows, right?
yeah,
He comes in and he knew that in order to affect this game, he had to crash the boards. The offensive rebounding was absolutely phenomenal from him today, and it helped this team win. When we needed a board for a second chance point, there he was. And then, if he couldn't pass out, he was going up with it, and he was getting fouled. He was getting to the line, and it was crazy to see the Toronto Raptors like having trouble boxing him out. It was like they've never played him before.
yeah,
And I'm pretty sure he has been in these matchups with Toronto this year. If I'm correct, I think he has played against Toronto this year.
yeah. Because
Um,
yeah. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, he only sat for the last 4 or 5 games, so I'm thinking they played Toronto well over a week ago or so. So he would have matched up against them. And
Yeah,
he
and
was just out physicaling the guys. He was just moving bodies underneath the basket. There was no cuteness to his game, no finesse. He was just moving bodies and hitting the boards.
I think the rest probably helped him too because um I can't remember who his previous organization that he was playing with, but I'm pretty sure he didn't get a lot of playing time,
Yeah,
right? So
Minnesota.
yeah, so I'm pretty sure he was not playing that much. The start of the season, the first 20 something game, the first 20 games, I'm sure the intensity in the practices, the road trips, and now we've had a stretch of games where he's been able to get rest because the games have been kind of few and far in between. And he came into the game looking fresh, looking ready
Yeah,
to play, ready to rebound, ready to hustle. So for Joe to go to him, considering that he didn't play yesterday's game, and now Nimi is going to be on the second night of a back to back. I need another big in there to help take the load off of him because I can't play small the entire game. And throwing him into there absolutely threw Toronto off their game because they probably weren't expecting him to play at all this game, considering the DNPs that he's been getting.
yeah,
So absolute chess move from Joe Mazzulla this game to help the team get some offensive boards, get some more shots up, and it ended up paying for them. So man, just some really good performances by a lot of the guys out there today.
yeah. I mean, like we mentioned, Anthony Simons off the bench. I don't even know what his final stat number was, about 16 points or so. Off the
Yeah,
bench,
he did pretty decent. He had 15.
15, yeah. Minot, didn't really see much of him. I think Garza ate up his minutes tonight.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and we needed those minutes from Garza, compared to some of these other guys today. We needed the size.
yeah, a lot of those guys were plus on the plus side, the plus minus.
Pretty
I
much
know
the whole
Simons
bench.
was second, I believe. I seen the graphic, or I don't know. Pritchard, I know he had to be like the top guy. A lot of plus minus on the plus sides tonight.
Yeah, let's we can actually go ahead and take a look at the box score right now. Let me go ahead and get this loaded up. All right, so looking at the box score here, all right, so our starters. I'm gonna start with Sam Hauser. Um, I don't think he should have started this game.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, um, 27 minutes, 6 points, 2 of 6 from the field, 2 of 5 from three. He had 6 boards, an assist, a turnover, and he was -8.
Mhm.
Um, I just don't get the move putting him into the starting lineup. Um, he just did not have a good game, man. He made a shot, to bring the Celtics within 2. I believe it was in that third quarter,
Mhm.
after they had been down, and when they got it within 2, I believe Toronto takes a timeout. Sam is heading to the bench. Joe Mazzulla is kind of like trying to bring up his spirits, and basically like just telling him, "Look at the clock, man. There's a lot of time left in the game,"
Mhm.
and just trying to like get him back up. And because he was not having a good game defensively, offensively, um, it just was not the best Sam Hauser game. It's probably one of the worst games I think I've seen from Hauser. And he didn't shoot much, right? Like
Yeah.
he didn't shoot much, but he was just absolutely getting cooked on defense. Um, when you had that lineup of the bench that came into the game and the Celtics built that lead by, what was it, 13 points. Sam Hauser comes into the game after sitting on the bench, after, the bench basically puts that lead together, and the defense just absolutely falls apart. The offense just absolutely fell apart. Um, you know, it's just hard for me to see the fit with Sam anymore on the team. Yeah, he had an amazing game last night.
Mhm.
He played some minutes in that game too, and maybe tonight was a little bit, the fatigue was hitting him, right?
Yeah.
I still, if the fatigue was hitting him, I would have rather have seen a early an early call to the bench, putting him on there and having him come in with the second unit, not with the starting unit. I don't know, man. It was just anytime he was on that court, the Celtics were losing the lead, and Toronto was attacking him. He was losing defenders on defense. There was a couple times where he left shooters wide open, and sometimes the shot. And luckily, some of the shots didn't go down for Toronto when that would happen. I don't I don't think his performance last night should have warranted him starting this game. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, and the defense really, his defense really hurt us this game when Toronto took back the lead, and tried to built a pretty decent 8-point lead, I believe, at one point, and the bench had to come back in and get us back into the game. And once towards the end of the game, in that fourth quarter, or the third and fourth quarter, I was just saying, Joe, come on, man, you got to take him out the game right now, because what he's giving on defense and offense it's not doing anything right now. And soon as he comes back, he gets taken out that game in the fourth quarter. the Celtics build a lead by 10 plus again. So, it was him being on the court really did not help the Celtics this game. It was honestly hurting them, because the shooting wasn't there, the defense wasn't there, and he was a -8 for the starters. So a couple of the starters weren't that great today. Derek White, sorry, no, I'm not even going to put them in that same sentence right there. But Derek White was a +1, Peyton Pritchard was a +4, but that's because their starters would come onto the court and basically help them lose the lead. So that's why Peyton Pritchard and Derek White's plus minus isn't as great as the benches, because Derek White and Peyton Pritchard had to play with that starting unit who was helping to give up that lead today. Yeah, go ahead.
It's when you're one-dimensional, you're not hitting your shots, you're just an offensive shooter. It does a lot for your confidence. I mean, if you're not making a shot, you're not engaged in the game. There's no energy level. You're just out there, you're probably lethargic, your head's down, it's all confidence. Like you said, Joe should have yanked him or not even started him and just put Hugo in for energy, hustle. You don't need Hugo to score points. You just need his defense and his hustle, his energy. And that would have been fine if he had just done that move rather than start Hauser. But
I know
loyalty, I guess.
I agree, dude. Because I put it out there on Twitter. I said, how did Sam Hauser get the starting lineup? And literally, probably less than a minute later, they started talking about Hauser being in the game. Scal says, I talked to Joe before the game, about, inserting Hauser into the starting lineup. And he said he's been liking what he's been seeing on defense. Right after Scal says that, Toronto starts going at Hauser like over and over again. And it got to Hauser. I'm like, you could tell Hauser was frustrated. The fact that Joe had to come out and be like, hey, relax, look at the score. You just got us within 2. You could tell he was off of his game. He was not feeling confident. And it absolutely showed. So, 6 points, 27 minutes, just not good. Not good at all. But yeah, let's move on from Sam Hauser. We got the dub, right? That's what matters. But it's because Joe had to make that decision of, all right, my bench is giving me what I need right now.
Yeah.
And that absolutely changed the game. The bench, just look at that plus minus, man. That's insane. The whole bench was plus today. Plus 10, plus 22, plus 32, plus 9, plus 37. Hauser should have been on the bench, in my opinion. But yeah, let's move on to the next guy. Neemias Queta, 22 minutes, 14 points, 7 of 7 from the field. Not bad from Neemias Queta today. 5 rebounds, a couple offensive, but yeah, those the fouling was absolutely crazy. The most obvious flagrant foul I think I've seen from him.
Yeah.
The wind up just came down right on Scotty Barnes' face. Brutal. I was like, dang. I was like, Scotty Barnes, man, tough luck right there with that foul, because that was a mean shot. That was mean. I don't think Queta was trying to say something. I don't think it was a frustration foul. I think it was just you're not getting this bucket easily. And then Scotty still throws it over his shoulder and it goes in. I believe that was like a 5-point possession right there. So
yeah, it was a big swing.
Yeah, luckily that didn't bite the team in the ass. So, decent game from Queta, aside from the fouls. He was a -12, but his contribution was definitely a huge plus over what Sam Hauser was giving us. Derek White today, 36 minutes, 15 points, 5 of 20 from the field, 4 of 12 from 3. Most of those points came, I believe, in the fourth quarter for Derek White, because that first half of the game was brutal shooting wise. I believe I'm pretty sure in that first quarter, within the first like 3-4 minutes, he had already put up 5 shots, and I think he was like 1 for 5, maybe 0 for 5. Brutal start for him in this game, but ended up coming in the clutch. It wasn't a clutch game, but ended up coming in the clutch and helping the team down the stretch. He still had 7 assists, 5 rebounds, and a couple turnovers, so nothing too crazy today. The Celtics really limited their turnovers today with 9. And I believe in like that first quarter they were up to like 4 or 5, unless that was like the first half. I'm probably mistaken, but yeah. Okay. Game from Derek White today. Wasn't expecting him to go, 30 points 3 games in a row, so a little bit of a cool down, but that's all right. Second night of a back-to-back, no big deal. He'll bounce back. Peyton Pritchard tonight, 37 minutes, 33 points, 13 to 24 from the field, 3-point shooting, 4 of 9, took 3 free throws, 8 rebounds, 10 assists. He was flirting with the triple-double. Flirting with a triple-double right there. And, +4 on the team, but, he was playing a lot with that starting unit and that second unit. He had 37 minutes today, so Joe had him out there running a lot. And he absolutely delivered. We already got into it earlier, so I'm not going to spend too much more time on it. But next player, Jordan Walsh, 13 minutes, 0 points, man. Brutal. Jordan Walsh has not really had a good couple games, a good like 3-4 games in a row now, as far as, scoring wise. And minus 15, team worst. Joe was absolutely having none of that backdoor cut, and he was done. Game over for Jordan Walsh. Unfortunate, because that's something that Jordan Walsh doesn't let happen to him usually. So maybe it's a little bit of a mental fatigue. Second night of a back-to-back. Jordan Walsh has been called up called on a lot more this season to contribute. And, maybe we're in a stretch right now where he's kind of like hitting a wall. The time off for young players compared to, a seasoned vet, it probably takes them out of their game a little bit more compared to, somebody who's been in the league longer. They prepare for these stretches of days where they're not going to be playing consistently. So maybe it's gotten to Jordan a little bit now. The time off, so a little bit of a mental fatigue going on. I really see that's what's happening right now. A little bit of physical fatigue, but a little bit of mental also, because like I said, you don't really see that happen to Jordan Walsh too often, get beat like that off the backdoor. So backdoor cut. And does this affect his minutes? Does this affect the starting rotation going forward? Because he has been not really contributing on the offense. Maybe they give him a day off, put someone else like Hugo Gonzalez, inserting him into the starting lineup. Hugo's now gotten career high minutes, 28 minutes last game. I think it's 28 minutes this game. So 2 nights, reaching the career high in minutes, double. He's now providing more scoring than what Jordan Walsh contributes lately. So maybe that's the move. When JB comes back, instead of Walsh, you have Hugo Gonzalez, who I think is kind of deserving of a starting role. We'll see what happens. But it's very fluid right now, especially with the performances from the guys on the bench lately.
Yeah, Hugo's scoring very easily, very efficiently. offensive rebounds, transition baskets. Jordan Walsh seems like either he's somebody drops it off to him and underneath the paint, he lays it in, or he's shooting a three. And I mean, it's probably just a rut. Maybe he's just, like you said, tired and maybe hit some sort of wall. But I don't know going forward. Joe tends to play the hot hand, so we'll see what happens.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so I think, you know, maybe Hugo earned himself a starting role going into next game. I think the next opponent is Indiana, so you know,
Yeah, it's good to game for him.
what better way to, get a guy going against a team that, is not that good this year. If I'm Hugo Gonzalez, I'm looking at that matchup and I'm licking my chops. I'm out. I want to get some more minutes. I've earned them off the bench. Put me in, coach. Put me in. Like I feel like it can happen. So would love to see that. I would love to see Hugo get some minutes against Indiana. Um, would love to see an Aaron Neesmith versus Hugo Gonzalez matchup.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see that. That would be great television right there.
Yeah, yeah, they'll go at it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah. Because Neesmith has been feeling some type every time he plays us. He feels some type of way about the Celtics letting him go,
yeah,
not really
yeah,
giving him that opportunity. Could you imagine? The hype around Hugo Gonzalez, the excitement in the organization for Hugo Gonzalez, and then Aaron Neesmith thinking that was supposed to be me.
yeah, yeah.
I was supposed to be in that position, and I think it'll be great. I think it'll be a great matchup to see that. I think it'll be absolutely like just cinema. It's gonna be good.
Mm,
I hope it happens. I hope it happens.
yeah,
Um, Josh Minot today, 5 points in 17 minutes, 1 of 2 from the field, made a couple free throws, had some rebounds. He was decent this game. And the stints that he's been getting, he's been effective. So not too many minutes lately, but when he is on the court, he's playing decent. So he's really in there for his defense.
yeah,
And I think he's been playing fine these past couple stretches. So nothing noteworthy of it, but just we noticed that it doesn't really matter about the offense. He's really in that game for his defense to help affect the game. Luka Garza, 26 minutes, 12 points, 4 of 9 from the field. Wow, I didn't even realize he took a couple 3-point shots.
yeah,
I do remember one. I didn't know that there was a second.
yeah,
Got to the line as well. 10 rebounds, 9 offensive rebounds, a couple of assists, and a block today. So, plus 22. He was we already talked about it. He was awesome. He was awesome. Like to come off the bench and put that kind of performance together. You couldn't ask for more. He like I don't know who they gave a Tommy point today to or whatever, but he should have gotten a Tommy point today for his offensive rebounding. Anthony Simons today, 26 minutes, 15 points, gave you some decent offensive production coming off the bench, 6 of 15 today from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, not his best 3-point shooting night, and a couple of rebounds as well. He was a team high plus 32. Man, just having all those defensive players on the court today, the playmaking from Anthony Simons and not Jordan Walsh, Peyton Pritchard on the court together today. That was like the winning formula. And that's what contributed to Anthony Simons having such a high plus minus today. Because when he was on that court today, things were happening. The offense was moving. Players weren't just standing in the corner. Sam Hauser, I'm sorry, but Sam Hauser just doesn't have the playmaking capabilities for this team. And I think we've seen his best days as a defender pass already. It's been a couple seasons removed from the NBA Finals where, that season a lot of teams were going at Sam Hauser and he was able to hold his own on defense. There was a lot of people attacking him. That season that they won the championship. But Sam Hauser held his own, and then if he did get beat, he had his protection behind him in the paint to, in the secondary to basically, hey, if you get beat, we're here, we're behind you. He doesn't have that anymore. And as the years go by, as the seasons have gone by now, the athletic ability has gone down too with injuries, piling up now. It's hard for me to see a spot on this team for Sam Hauser in the future. I know the Celtics love him. I know that Brad Stevens loves him. He's one of his guys. Do you hold on to a guy and, you don't get rid of him before it's too late? You don't trade him before it's too late. You let the market, his market, decrease.
Yeah.
It's tough, man, because I've said it. Thank you, Sam Hauser, for contributing to the championship. I mean, he absolutely helped out, in the finals too. So, but I think his best defensive days might be behind him.
Yeah, like you
And
said,
yeah,
injuries. Like the injuries are piling on his back. He's
hmm
had ankle problems. It's all piling up on him. It's not making him any quicker. It's slowing him down. And
right, right.
yeah,
On it, on it.
he's got a team friendly contract. Just
hmm
you can get something for him. Just move along. Because as we move forward, Hugo's going to surpass him even more, and Jordan Walsh will surpass him even more, just because they're more athletic and they can do more things than he can, and his minutes will continue to decrease.
Right, on a team that is trying to build a faster, pace conscious team. Where does he fit in that? It's tough, man. It's tough. If the Celtics want to get their big man this season, he's gonna have to be in, in the trade package,
Yeah.
because if a team is gonna be getting rid of a center, I mean, they're gonna need some offense now coming in.
Mhm.
Sam Hauser, he can no doubt still provide an offensive spark to a team. I don't know what team it is, but his 3-point shot, when it's on,
Mhm.
right? He still has that value going forward for his career. It's just the injuries and the athleticism is it kind of makes it a little bit of a harder, sell. But
Yeah.
you know, in order to match money with, the apron and stuff like that when you're trading for the player, his like you said, it is a team friendly contract. So he's gonna have to be in that trade package to, make the money work
Yeah.
for the Celtics trying to get a big. But yeah, tough position right now. I feel like Sam Hauser's finding himself in, and um, the frustration is obviously palpable on the court. Man, we saw it. We saw it going into that timeout. Joe had to say, "Yo, relax. We're only down by 2." So maybe it's getting to him. After a night after a night like he had last night, and then this performance, I'm gonna chalk it up to a little bit of fatigue today. Considering the second night of a back to back, he isn't as athletic anymore, dealing with some injuries this year. So maybe he bounces back, but I still don't think he should be in the starting lineup with Jaylen Brown out.
Yeah.
Going forward, if Jaylen has to miss another game, give the minutes to someone else. See what they can prove, right? So, um,
I mean, Joe has already demonstrated, because he was originally the starter in the beginning of the season. Then they put in Minot. Then they put in Jordan Walsh. So obviously he's fallen on the depth chart. I think Joe just trusts him. and he's part of that championship team, and he's trying to be loyal to him. But
I see that.
I don't know.
No, I see that. I see like, hey, second night of a back to back. You know, a lot of these guys are in their first season with the team that have been getting the starting role. Maybe you put you don't put one of them out there because maybe you're trying to save them, trying to save their legs this season. You don't want them to get too tired out. So you go to the veteran presence on your team, Sam Hauser, to like, hey, let's get you in there. Let's try to, you had a hot night last night. Let's see if we can keep it going. And unfortunately, it didn't work at all. So it is what it is. Move on to the next game, and we see maybe if he can improve on it. But um, yeah, man, I was really not wanting Hauser out there today. Baylor Shireman, 8 minutes, a couple points, rebound, a nasty assist to Hugo Gonzalez today. I mean, yeah, Baylor didn't have that really great of a game in his 8 minutes. He had 4 fouls in 8 minutes. So that tells you, he came in and was just, hacking, trying to play some defense. He got inserted into the game a little late. I think, that was kind of like when the Celtics needed to start making their run. Sam Hauser was taken out the game. Baylor Shireman was put in. And Shireman was able to benefit from his plus minus of +9 today off of the fact that the Celtics, once Hauser went onto the bench and Shireman was in the game, the Celtics were able to actually get the offense going again. The ball was moving. It was so the offensive production was so much better when Hauser was on the bench today. And yeah, Shireman also, he committed that 5-second violation on the inbounds. But he had a couple steals. After that 5-second violation, I was kind of like, dude, just put him on the bench too, man. Just get somebody else in. But he did his thing for a little bit. He made up for that amazing assist that he dished out today. So yeah, when you're out on him, he kind of pulls you in a little bit with his playmaking, and would love to see that happen a little bit more. But when you're coming into the game, committing 4 fouls in 8 minutes, I mean, bro, get it together, But he has that playmaking ability that Sam Hauser does not have, like at all. So even when you have Baylor Shireman in, even though he's committing the fouls, whatever, he's playing defense, right? He's playing hard.
Yeah, he's playing
whatever. Hard. Exactly. You take him. You're putting him in at the end of the game anyways, right? So you're looking for something at the end of the game to give your team a boost. Unfortunately, when he was in, pretty much fouling the whole time, and the turnover on the inbound as well. But the assist and his score, I mean, it gives you a little bit of a flash. I mean, I'd much rather have him in the game over Sam Hauser this game for sure. When Sam wasn't giving you nothing, because Sam doesn't give you anything playmaking wise either. So give me somebody that can like play make a little bit, and Sam Hauser was defending today, but he only committed 1 foul. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he was like trying to like aggressively stop guys. It wasn't like, it was just like he was out there. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah. What's unfortunate too is, when he's not on his game, he's not hitting his shots. As Peyton Pritchard was hitting it to him on a platter. He was breaking the defense down, creating for him. He still wasn't making wide open shots. So yeah, not shooting well at this point. Last night was maybe an maybe just I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Sam Hauser, it just feels like this is not his season, man. I don't know. Maybe he feels the pressure this season about being traded. It's possible. I mean, when you look at the performances of the team, I mean, Sam Hauser is one of those guys that just feels like, hey, man, like if we need to trade for someone, like this is like one of the most expendable guys right now. It's yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see if they keep him for when Tatum comes back. I mean, I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like he would benefit off of Tatum being back in the lineup, but
Mm.
I mean, we don't have really like a big to, you know, back him up if he's starting to get attacked again on defense. All right, yeah. Hugo Gonzalez today, 28 minutes, 10 points, 5 of 9 from the field, missed a couple of his 3-point shots, 10 rebounds, his first double double of his career, plus team high, plus 37. The kid was absolutely amazing anytime he was in the game. When we needed the Celtics to come back, we had to get Sam Hauser off the court. We put Hugo Gonzalez in the game, and the offense just takes off, and the defense improves as well. So Hugo Gonzalez, man, total X factor this game. I believe like 2 games in a row now. The kid's gonna be special.
Yeah. 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 I think he had 8 rebounds last night, 10 tonight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's progressively getting better.
Yeah, man, he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing, and for him to be so young and contributing to the team like the way he is, it feels. I'm not gonna say Tatum-esque, but um, it's exciting. It's exciting to see. Now we have our veterans. JB, JT. They're the vets on the team now. They're the guys that have been there the longest, and they are like taking that role. Like we're getting older, man. Like it's crazy to think that Tatum and Brown are in their 8th and 9th season now, and now they are the established vets. Like we don't have Al Horford anymore to hold their hand. Like it's now they're the OGs, they're the vets, and now Brad Stevens inserting new blood onto the team to you know to basically like build up now the way Tatum and Brown have built up in their careers. When they started, Tatum and Brown were in the positions of Hugo Gonzalez. They were in the positions of Josh Minot, the positions of a Jordan Walsh on this team. They were there one time, and now they are the guys that these younger guys are looking up to in a season in a gap season to be like, hey, these are our vets. This is what they know. This is what they can teach us. This is what we can learn from them. And Brad Stevens has put this team in a position right now to to go into the next phase, phase of Tatum and Brown's career. You know, we it sucks. I know a lot of people loved Al Horford. You know, he chose to leave for the second time again to go to a Warriors team because he felt like the financials, Celtics didn't want to pay him, but he also has stated that he didn't think that the Celtics were in the position to win a championship this year.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want a guy that's thinking that on my team anyways, right? Why are you going to sign on? Why would you sign on to the team? Yeah, it's the Celtics. You're adored here. You're loved. But Tatum goes down with an injury, and you think that that's it? You think that this team isn't in a position to make it to the playoffs and win a championship? So you jump ship again and go to Golden State? I'm sorry, Al. Love you, but bye. You know, if you don't feel that way about this team, that's on you. Good luck in Golden State. But now we have our guys like JB and JT who are now they're the leaders. Now they're the leaders on the team, and they are gonna take these young guys, put them on their shoulders, show them what it takes to be an NBA player, an NBA champion. It might take a couple. It might take a couple seasons before this team is fully seasoned and we see what their true capabilities are. It might be a completely different team in a couple years, right? But, you know, Brad Stevens has the personnel here that he believes in. He could have gotten Al Horford, tried to make it work with Al Horford to stay another season. But, he's like, hey, this is what we want to pay you. You don't want to take it. You don't think we're going to win? Fine. My guys here that have learned from you, they're ready to take over now. And that's where the Celtics are finding themselves. Now you have Tatum trying to come back, and you got these guys, these younger guys that are playing hard, good basketball, trying to keep the team afloat because they see him working hard to get back. So they're going to work hard to keep their position, to keep themselves competitive for a chance for when Tatum does come back. Hey, we got a real shot at winning out the East right now. So, Brad Stevens, I mean, come on, man. This guy is a basketball genius. I say it almost every podcast. We get into a discussion about Brad Stevens and what he's done to build this team for sustainability towards the future. And it's absolutely paying off for him. It's absolutely paying off for the new owner as well, who we were talking about earlier this year. Pretty much like when the Celtics were 0-3. Hey, this probably ain't going to be a good look if the Celtics don't do good this season after the new owner has been saying we're committed, we want to win this year. So, Brad Stevens has put this team and the owner into a good position of sustainability going forward.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of things too is that KP situation in Atlanta. He may be on the market again. He's got that mystery illness that came up, that POTS thing.
The POTS, bro.
Yeah, he may be on the block. You look at Drew Holiday; he's been injured. I know they removed those guys because of salary cap and restrictions and all, but it's like a Bill Belichick move. You moved on from the guys in the right time
before it was too late.
Yeah,
exactly. And with the season that Sam Hauser is having this season, do you move on from him too before it's too late? So it feels like Brad understands, like, this is a business. Brad can be cold-blooded. I'm sure he absolutely adores Al Horford, right? He coached him. He after the the fallout in Philly, going to OKC, I believe Brad is in his first year as the president of basketball operations, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna trade Kemba and get my guy back. They trade Kemba Walker, a beloved New England legend, to get back Al Horford, who left us. And Brad Stevens had no problem letting Al Horford walk again. It's business. Business is business. And Brad Stevens is, I'm sure if the money would have worked, he would have absolutely welcomed back Horford. 100% would have welcomed him back. But when you're saying like, yo, I don't think the money's good, what you're offering me, and I think I can go win another chip somewhere else, Brad's probably like, all right, if that's what you think. I think I'm smarter than you, and I'm going to, I'll let you walk. I'm gonna just replace this team with, with rookies and cast-offs from other teams, and I'm gonna put them in this system with Joe Mazzulla, and Joe Mazzulla has absolutely flourished with it. I mean, there was just like a couple seasons ago, not even, maybe last season, people were saying, can Joe, after Tatum gets hurt, is Joe Mazzulla going to be able to win with just Jaylen Brown? Yeah, he is. He's actually winning without Jaylen Brown on the team too. He's winning with Peyton Pritchard as his starting point guard and Anthony Simons off of the bench. It's insane. Joe Mazzulla is probably coach of the year right now, a quarter of the way through.
Yeah, he's built a good system, good culture. He's got the guys running into walls for him. He's a hell of a coach. He's underrated. People don't talk enough about him. He's a hell of a coach. He should have been a coach of the year a couple seasons ago, to be honest with you, when they won the chip. But
He
you
should
know,
have.
his
But it
time will
was
come, though.
yeah, but it was the narrative like, oh well, Ime Udoka took them to the championship too, and it's the same team that Ime had, except for a couple players. He won it with because he has Tatum and Brown on the team and Porzingis, and they built a super team. Okay, the super team's not here right now, and
Yeah,
he's still winning.
yeah,
He's still winning, and Brad Stevens should be a GM of the year again.
yeah.
I mean, what he's done with this team, you know, with the exodus of the players that we had to be in this position. What were we sitting third in the East right now?
Yeah,
I mean, people thought we were going to be tanking. People thought we were going to be bottom of the league. People thought we were going to be the Indiana Pacers. I mean, come on, Coach of the Year, GM of the Year again right now, in my opinion.
yeah. There's a lot of angry Celtics fans out there too that sort of was hoping for the tank just to get the pick. You just don't
It,
tank because you don't know what's going to happen.
yeah,
You may
exactly.
end up being a bottom team, but you may end up like you know. You may not get the pick that you want, or the pick may be a bust. You just don't know.
You really don't. You really don't. And yeah, yeah, like if you've watched the Celtics over the years, I'm talking like since like, before 07, 08, like this is just not the culture of the Celtics. Like yeah, we've had bad teams, but we haven't had like abysmal. I don't know. Like basically what I'm trying to say is the team always seems to, find success by playing hard. It's not an organization that they look at their championships, and that is what their motivation is. There's organizations out there where money is the motivation, right? Maximizing every dollar that they can get, selling the most jerseys, um, you know, tanking for better picks so that fans will be excited about the draft and their new pick, lottery pick that they're going to be getting, which, like you said, doesn't always pan out. Look what's going on with the 76ers over the years. The whole, the whole mantra of trust the process. It's
Yeah, yeah,
the process has brought them 0 championships,
yeah.
0 Eastern Conference Finals appearances, right? Like they can't get out the second round still to
Yep.
this day. If I'm checking correctly, I think we're on year 13 of the process or something, year 12 or 13 of the process. I mean, how much more longer is it going to take?
It's
If you try to tank, you could be in a perpetual tank
hmm
for up to a decade possibly. Um,
yeah,
so why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would any Celtics fan want that?
yeah,
Okay, we tanked, and now our organization is built around a unproven lottery player. Like, what is that?
yeah,
No, that's not how you build a team, and that's not how you support your team that you're supposedly a fan favorite of. Um, we are not a good team. We're not a great team this year. We're not a bad team this year.
yeah,
But look at the fans. Joe Mazzulla said it last night. Look at them showing up to the game. You got the owner sitting courtside still. He's not up in the booth, up in the box, just watching from afar, just not
mhm,
into it. No, he's
yeah,
out. He's out there on the court. He's a fan.
yeah,
He's sitting sideline, and the arena is filled up. That's
yeah,
what a real fan base is. That's what a fan base wants. They want to see your team playing hard, and to expect them and want them to tank is just asinine. It's just absolutely the wrong way to go about building a winning culture. And if you're a fan of the tank, if you're on Tank Fan Club, dude, just get out of our team, bro. Go root for someone else who's tanking.
Yeah,
You know,
you're
you
not.
want them to see you want to see them get you want AJ Dib I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
You want AJ on the team or whatever? Sure, go be a fan of the other team that he's going to be on cuz he's not going to be on the Boston Celtics.
No, no, no. I mean, yeah, I'm not for the tank. Anyone who supports it or thinks no, the tank is the way to go, they're not a true fan. You got to play hard. You got to play to win. That's the way it's built here. That's the culture that's been here since the beginning. And let the chips fall where they may.
And when your team plays hard, that's how you attract veterans, right?
Yeah.
Like veterans that like want to win a championship, they want to go to a team with a strong winning culture. They don't want to go to a New Orleans. They don't want to go to a Pelicans. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
what's another organization that
What Washington? Did we mention them? And
no one you don't want to go to the Washington Wizards. You don't want
yeah,
to go to the Charlotte Hornets, right?
yeah,
Like as a veteran, unless you're just worried about your bag, right? Like fine, whatever, go to those teams. But if
yeah,
you want to win, the team that you have on the court, they have to be on the court playing hard, and any veteran that wants to come win a chip, and that's how you the Celtics have always built their teams around veterans to win a championship. It I mean, it's because of the culture. It's because of the team playing hard, no matter who's on the court. Doesn't matter if you have a superstar or anything, right? Well, I
mm,
mean, we were out here, winning game. We were out here playing games with Chris Humphreys on the team, bro. Like Brad Stevens was winning with Chris Humphreys and an aging Gerald Wallace, I believe,
mm,
right at one
yeah,
point,
yeah,
getting some wins.
yeah.
Um,
Solinger. Yeah,
Sullinger, the OG number 0.
yeah,
Sh- gosh, I can't think of the name. I'm brain farting because I'm thinking of so many
yeah. I
players right
can't.
now from the
Yeah,
past.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah.
like KG Ray Allen came over to win a chip. This
Hmm.
last championship, we picked off Kristaps Porzingis, and we pulled away uh
Drew Holiday.
Drew from the Bucks. I thought Drew Holiday was going to be a lifelong Milwaukee Buck.
Yeah,
You know what he did for that championship, and they were just like, "Nah, we want Dame Lillard instead."
yeah,
Yeah, that didn't work out. Um, so we take him, and he wanted to win, right? Like
yeah.
they basically said, "Oh, we don't think we can win with you anymore," and Drew Holiday was like, "Oh well, I'm gonna go to a winning culture. Like I don't want to stay in Portland. You traded me to Portland to die?
Mhm.
No, get me out of here, Portland. I need to go win another ring." And then wins a ring, bro. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what that veterans want to come here when they see that they have the winning culture. They're not a tanking culture. They're not a team that's out here trying to tank for an unproven rookie. This is
mm,
where they want to come. This is where they want that they look at the chips, they look at the banners, they look at the fans. Who doesn't want to play in that? And who
no,
doesn't want to cheer for, and who doesn't want to cheer for that? You want to cheer for the tank? Get out of here, bro. That's all I gotta say.
yeah. No, I totally agree. If you're rooting for the tank, you're not a true fan.
No,
Like JB says, go off to the side, stay on your side. The
yeah,
real fans are going to be up front in the center.
that's right. All day, every day, man. We bleed green.
Yep, yep.
You know. So, but all right, man. Good game today. Um, next game is going to be in Indiana, I believe. Let me take a look at this schedule coming up. What date is that? All right, Indiana, December 22nd. I think I'm doing the post game pod for that.
Okay,
And looks like we're at home. Starts at 4:30. I think I get out of work a little bit 4:30 my time. So I think I get out of work like 5 something that day. So I'll probably catch like the second half and then be ready to pod.
okay.
But I'll update you.
All right.
All right, y'all. if you tuned in tonight, if you're still tuned in with us, we appreciate you coming out and listening to us talk a little bit about the Celtics. And yeah, give us a follow at Parquet Poppy at NBA Swing Pass. Chat with us if you want to talk a little bit of ball. We're trying to get some motion, man. I'm trying to get Isaiah Thomas on the stream, bro. I'm trying to get him on the pod. I know you saw me try to get him on your retweet that he retweeted you on. So maybe he saw it. Maybe we can try to blast his DMs or something. Try to get in contact with his agent. Yeah. But all right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in tonight. You can also follow the podcast page on X at Dynasty Proud 18. Follow Boston Sports Entertainment Network for all of your Boston sports needs. Patriots, Bruins, Red Sox. We've got a pod for every single one of those. So they're at BSEN _617. And yeah, that's it for us today, man. We will catch y'all in the next stream. For post game, whenever that should be the next game. But until then, peace out. Go Celtics.
Peace out.
Ends tonight here. It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.